Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. Today, violence. Space violence, and lots of it. That's the plan. So we're fixing our manpower problem. We don't actually need that much extra manpower. We're still pretty full. Yeah, we're still quite full. We just need enough that these ships that we're still building in Virac come out with full manpower. Because again, we want to be able to blitz these planets as hard as possible. Put the siege modules in place, let them burn down the defenses, and then we want as few turns of actual invasion as we can get so that the enemy has the minimum possible time to use conscription, because we want as much of their population in place when we take over the planet as we can get. So I think this probably will be the only time we have to do Chain Gang Program. Yeah, I think we're likely to be alright on that. And that aside, we don't really have a good direction as far as victory conditions go. Once we've taken a bunch of Lumeris worlds, we'll think about it. We could end up just going for another conquest victory. Supremacy is a really slow way to win, usually, because it requires you to go everywhere. I think Supremacy is probably not worth doing, but yeah, it could be conquest. We could end up having a thriving trade network or something. We'll see how things work out. You're still waiting on another probe. We can probably take this pirate. I don't think I want to be in defense mode and force it to fight me, but if it wants to fight, we can handle it. Alright, let's go. Pirate mark ended, it looks like. That's handy. Means we probably don't have to leave ships here anymore. Oh, we were the first to raise a hero to level 9, because we got a quest hero that was almost level 9 already. So we've acquired the design for the system, for the Sonic Disruption Net. That's fine. That's an okay defensive building. The thing is, I don't really think we're going to need defensive buildings. Our neighbors are not aggressive enough, and this war is not going to go very well for the Lumeris. I doubt they will have a lot of time to invade us. Okay, Riarian, you need... What do you need? Upkeep cost reductions are fine, I suppose. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of options. Okay, next level up. He's in the really good stuff. Wait early. Alright, at some point we're going to get 80 free influence. That's cool. That'll help us keep our Spoils of War doctrine running for longer. So here on Zane's, we can move some people back over to Zane's 3. We want those people to be Horatio. Just want to make sure our approval level stays content or higher, and we're not tanking. Yeah, we're not tanking global approval. It was nowhere near. It was nowhere near being happy. So luxuries lottery is actually pretty good here. Science, I suppose, is also pretty good here. I don't know. We'll queue it up like this for now. Actually, mining rate maybe over luxuries lottery. We'll be able to fiddle with our population a little bit more, though, with a little extra approval headroom to work with. So actually, we should probably just move the intruder straight to Elma, and we'll have the other ships follow in its wake. Alright, you guys... I'm going to give this one more turn. I don't want the small ships to arrive first, because these guys are still only showing being at power level 3. Yeah, they're probably not producing anything that can actually fight 2 of my small ships. Never mind. You should have that probe now. Zoomed in a little too far there. A free warship. It's a crummy one, but it's still a free ship. I'll take it. Why don't you go scout for me? And you probably want to sit for another turn until you generate another probe. Okay, so Tylus is explored. All of this stuff is explored. I guess it's time to finally actually head down this star lane. Yeah, let's see what's over here. We do need to develop some better engines. We have like really, really large spaces that we're crossing all the time here. And our ships aren't slow, but they need to be faster. Alright. Still growing. We have access to ionic crystals. For our future system developments, we're definitely going to want to rely less on flat bonuses and more on per population bonuses, since those are affected by all of our multipliers and stuff. So ionic crystal is one of those. I'm assuming that I became aware of ionic crystals just now because they are the preferred resource of the remnants, and that unit of remnant population finally landed on one of our systems. I don't think we want to do anything else. We probably want to just keep this Craver thing rolling forever. It's a shame that there's no way to get this point boost without also doubling their likelihood to spawn, because I do think there's a strong argument for using a lot of minor faction population as Cravers. But like I said, we're planning to just do the intergalactic locust thing, so we'll deal with the fact that Cravers aren't that good at pulling resources off of depleted planets by just constantly finding new non-depleted planets.
The families will do what is best for the families.
It's just business. I think you should remember which one of us said that first. In the future, the very near future, you're going to have some feelings about the way we treat each other, and I just want you to remember. So what do we want to do here first? Probably, I'm not actually sure if the big bonus from Interplanetary Transport Network works on systems where you can't harvest the resource. Because the deposit's here, right? Let's queue that up and find out. So right now it's at 170. Make one of these. Probably want to grab the other planet and then make these happen. Alright, so 170. Remember to come back here and look next turn. Okay, Deneb has a lot of stuff to explore. Okay. 150 dust is actually, like, that's a reasonable amount. That's an amount of dust that I am happy to have found. Whereas with a lot of the one-time bonuses, I get them and I'm just like, okay, whatever. 150 is enough that it feels significant. Speaking of dust, we should probably get this built, because it's actually going to be a fair amount of dust for us. And then infinite supermarkets, and honestly, modernization to offset the food loss from being so unhappy. Okay, we don't need this here. We don't really have any, this is just kind of a crummy system. It's sort of a low to mid-value system. Well, let's pick up another planet, since it's obvious that we have Xeno-industrial infrastructure and public-private partnerships here already. And get some extra resources from picking up that other planet. And how do we want to manage our approval here in the home system? It would probably be best to bounce somebody off of this planet. Probably mostly to this planet, although we don't want to hit that overpopulation threshold too hard either. I guess just making sure that we're not below content. Probably the best we can do for now. The best we can do and all that's really necessary. Alright, so we went from 170 to 200. Which is a... Oh yeah, that's right, but all of these are going to be plus 150%. So we would have expected a gain of 4 points per citizen becoming 10 points per citizen if we're actually getting the benefit from the resource, even though we can't mine it, which is what we saw. Okay, so you do still get the bonus as long as you're aware of the strategic deposit, even if you can't mine it. I figured that was probably the way it worked, but it's definitely worth double checking, since we had a nice easy test there. Grim recycling is not a battle tactic that I am ever excited to see. Alright, we have access to that thing now. Let's pick up neural robotics. First of all, planetary specialization, and secondly, we have the adamantium source. We should probably start pulling the adamantium out of it. And here, I think there's no real reason to delay. Oh, we're good at siege now. Oh yeah, and we want to not lose. We want to not lose any more manpower than we absolutely have to, because we have a lot of planetary drops in our near future. Are we going to want this system once it's cleared out? It's not great, but it does have antimatter. Yeah, alright. Somebody build me a pupa real fast. Still gross every single time I say it. We should... Yeah, I guess we should still be doing close range. We're going to want to move to long-range battle tactics soon, especially once we have the ability to refit this, this intruder. I mean, we have the ability. We'd have to actually take it back to one of our systems to actually do it, though. Alright, what have we here? Atmospheric. Alright, a ruins and 3 atmospherics. Come on, something cool. Sweet modules or something. Okay, yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. Plus 20% hull penetration. Interesting. High crew killed per hit. This is a good weapon. Right, and plus 2 vision range, unfortunately, on a fleet that's going to sit here at this planet for the next 10 turns or so while it's doing probing. Let's put this on defense mode. We're going to blow up these simple Lumeris warships when they arrive. They're all projectile defenses and energy weapons. Honestly, I think I'd rather have them be rolling energy weapons than bullet weapons, though. Okay, all of the command points necessary to fill that fleet are on the way. We have enough manpower and manpower coming in now that we can make some adjustments to our troop breakdown. So I think we probably want to, as we often do, go heavy on armor. Armor just fares really well against infantry, and for some reason, the AI never adjusts its troop composition after it gets the tax. When it gets armor, it'll start using some armor, and when it gets air, it'll rebalance, so it's a little bit of air and some armor, and still mostly infantry. So it's always good to have your force be largely armor, because they really trash infantry. So let's do this, and you know, we can afford to even go to plus 20% damage. Now we do have bonus, a little bit of free bonus infantry health, so our infantry are a little better than everybody else's, but not to the degree that I think it makes more sense to stick with infantry over armor. Alright, hopefully we won't need any adamantium anytime soon, because that was all of it. I mean, it's a problem we're working on, right? Oh, they brought in a whole bunch. Is it all the same stuff? Yeah. I mean, maybe they're just here to fight pirates. This could be a little bit of a show of force against us, though. The boost ended. We probably just want to keep this boost running forever, I think. Plus 2 all resources is pretty good. And I think we want to attack these guys. We have a pretty advantageous position here. Outnumbering them and having the medium. So the intruder deals about as much damage as 3 slicers. At this point, it might make sense to try to go long. Yeah, we'll do revive and rebuild. We'll have the intruder sit in the side lane here. Try to close in on people. They're just going to run. But it's important to start setting up appropriate defenses, or appropriate tactics. Obviously, we will not be ceasing our attacks. That's just not how I roll. Oh, that's interesting. It's a very large pirate system. Once we've all gathered up, we'll take out Elma easily so that we can take it, use it as our next base, and then we'll just take all this stuff, right? Just claim it all for ourselves. Sometimes it's not right to keep all of the enemy systems, because the AI will sometimes settle very bad systems for weird reasons, or, you know, for reasons that are just not relevant to you yourself. We should probably build something to sit back here, just so that we can't be easily blockaded, because, man, a single enemy scout with a single weapon module can really reduce your resource output by blockading your home system. Alright, we're managing to stay content. Nope. It's too much. The gain of the overcolonization slot plus the 10 extra disapproval for being worked by cravers is just too much. Too much to offset. How are we doing here? Minus 89 per turn. It's getting pretty fast. Technically, it's possible for the pupa to be damaged until we get enough ships over here to fill that fleet without it. But honestly, it's not going to happen. I'm not concerned. Those pirate ships are not ever going to be able to really deal damage. So once we have this Reaper out and it's actually full of manpower, we will be able to move our move Rayarian to it and actually move him over to the Infinite Factory and get some stuff done. He doesn't actually have to be on it, I suppose, but no, so I probably won't put him on it. Just leave him in place to continue gathering XP. Alright, let's search one of these. I don't know. They're all atmospheric. We have no way of telling what's going to be in them, so 25 science. Alright, well, I guess we should bring this thing back to the conflict region. Not going to do us any good out there. And for the moment, we're just in the waiting game here. We're going to have some real approval problems if we try to go for a wide settling victory. So it might be in our favor to do something else here. We're going to take everything these other players have. But that's not actually winning the game, unless we want to go fight absolutely everybody, absolutely everywhere, which I don't. That sounds very tedious. But we definitely want to use our military systems here as a way of slingshotting ourselves ahead of the other players towards some kind of victory. Okay, strange fossils, that's a good pull. And more resources. You know, this is not a bad planet. Yeah, this is a pretty good little system over here. We should probably pick this up, but I'm not in a big hurry to do so because I'm nervous about where we're going to be on overcolonization. We're at 4 of 7 right now, so we're going to have to pursue some approval stuff. Keeping the military party in charge from now on will probably be to our benefit because you can get a pretty large boost to approval from controlling home systems. That is, for now, I think, how we're going to plan to keep our people in line. And, you know, given our pretty limited level of military technology, our siege ability is considerable. Okay, so we bump this guy out of the fleet. There we go. And now enemies that attack us will attack this full fleet. This guy won't get pulled in anymore, so he's not in any danger until this fleet is removed from the system. And apparently I produced one more slicer than I needed. Well, it's not exactly a bad thing to have extra ships. So predictive logistics is pretty good. We could do a little bit of terraforming here. Boy, the difference between a desert world and an arid world is very small. A savanna is quite good. It's a lot less industry, though. This isn't really going to be a system where we have to go super hard on industry. Okay, that's a considerable amount of time. We're going to need more industry before we're ready to do that terraform. Alright, so we finished neural robotics. We may as well pick up something else in this tier to let us get our get our next level of system development available. I do love maximized exploitation. Chameleon Spaces is okay. But yeah, AI labor is going to be great for us. Commercial frameworks is good. I almost never pick up impactless sites because I'm thinking, Pulvis production's pretty whatever. But honestly, maybe access to the G Services Exchange, the ability to buy additional heroes, is something that I should prize more highly. We should get access to the commodities market anyway. I'm not saying that this is what we're going to pick up now. I think maximized exploitation is too good to pass up. But I am saying that we should maybe come back and get these once we have a little bit more to play with in terms of resources. That'll burn out very, very soon. But we can engage the industrial zones here, and also this. So Zane's is going to be a pretty good place to build ships. Virgo's not terrible either, actually. We're already ecstatic here. Yeah, when we don't have to live with minor factions. It's remarkable. Well, I think we should definitely pull this population point back to here. It turns out this is not a terribly valuable world. It was just worth having for the buildings that care about your planets in the system. We've lost control over our constellation. Well, we'll get it back. We'll get it back soon, I think. High gravity and a pretty poor little payout, and also, oh good, bonus shield capacity on our ship. A lot of these exploration events are not really relevant if your ship's just going to sit in orbit around a single system for a long time. Really, he brought those same ships back. Well, what makes you think anything different is going to happen here? Yeah, you know what, we'll keep a couple out here on the side. Nah. I was thinking we would do this just so that we didn't... There was no way we could lose that side flotilla, but actually there's already no way we're going to lose this side flotilla, not against 4 smalls. If he wants to stand and fight, we'll watch, but I think... Okay. I was about to say I think he's going to retreat again, but I forgot. These ships are already quite damaged, and retreating probably instantly kills them. So this will be the first time we actually get to see our ships in action. It should be a total stomp. But also, we should look at our ships, because they're cool looking. So here's these weird Lumeris vessels that have come in. Look at that thing. So that's the pirate space station over there in the background. You know, for a ship that's mostly classed as defensive, thing is still pretty menacing looking. This should be quick. Yup. Second volley's gonna wipe out almost all of them. You'll note we're not seeing a lot of focus fire here. Like, the first volley should have eliminated one or two ships. That is definitely a problem of using several small ships instead of a smaller number of mediums, as you get a lot less focus. I'll let this burn out all the way. We can do that next turn. I imagine she's going to be upset about the thing that just happened. I don't really care. Remarkably, she's not contacting us to make the same demands over and over again every turn. Maybe they're learning. So it doesn't look like we have anywhere else that desperately needs curiosities explored. Let's just get over onto this lane here. Oh, here it is. And we refuse. We've met the Vaulters formally now. Got within their sphere of influence. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with Leo. It seems to be producing influence pretty quickly. This is really growing. And our influence output is not good. So we're going to have to either take this away from them, or we're going to have to fix that problem. I mean, we're going to have to fix the influence problem anyway if we want to run any kind of reasonable government. Okay, you need one more turn to generate probes. So the dry run here, the trial run of our siege weapon systems, has been a thorough success. Okay, no losses because no defenders, and hey, we got some adamantium.
The families will do what is...
Is she still talking like she's going to steal my stuff while I'm out here ruining her ships over and over again? Alright, let's get a move on. Probably, honestly, worth it to go ahead and finish readjusting our troop composition. Next turn we can buy this. I don't know if she has tanks yet, but no, it looks like she's still entirely on infantry, so that lots of bonus damage versus infantry trait is going to be really, really useful. Should make it clear that I want to travel straight through. I do not want to stop and fight pirates, especially since this is that Horatio exploration vessel, not a proper one of ours, so it will lose a fight to a single pirate.
I trust you no more than I would trust a clan merchant selling Kasai.
Wow, that's aggressive. We just met, lady. Okay, that stuff's happening. We have access to a new hero, so we should probably try to pick up somebody who's actually going to, like, run a planet. Horos Apogee is a craver, but he's also an overseer. +1 industry per citizen. It's not a bad trait. We certainly have a place we could put this guy right away. So, as a craver, he can give us a little bit of food and industry. Yeah, we're working up to this eventually. We get this flat industry boost. Better on hot systems. This guy's a strong contender, I think. Over here, we have a Craver Seeker. I honestly don't like the Seeker very much. Like, they have a nice early damage skill for the fleets, but beyond that, their stuff is actually kind of not great. Yeah, I think Seeker's just kind of a weak branch. Or we could bring in this Horatio guy. I don't care for him. I want this. Horos Apogee, congratulations. You are the governor of Zanes or Virgo? Virgo's a little closer to the action. Although Zanes is not... Zanes is kind of equidistant between this problem and this problem. And we have a lot of people here already. Spend your skill point. Since we have a lot of people here already, this seems pretty good to me. Yeah, 10 food and 10 industry. And it will continue to grow. Alright. So should we should declare on them once we actually hit their space, probably.
The families will do what is best. The families will do what is best for the My friend, tell me what the families can do for you.
See, you're going to do what's best for the families, but I don't know if anybody told you what my purpose is. It turns out
Families will do.
it is to kill. And yeah, everybody's gonna know she's going to the other leaders of the galaxy and denouncing us and stuff, but listen, they were gonna find out anyway. Wow, this planet does not have defenses. Yeah, we're gonna take a lot of these planets very, very quickly. I don't think her systems are prepared. We gotta wait one more turn. I overestimated our amount of adamantium gathered. We gotta wait one more turn before we can upgrade our tanks again. Alright, so the home systems Reaper has finished. Let's launch this thing and send it to the Infinite Factory. Yeah, it has the manpower necessary to run the quest. And you have some other stuff you could build. This wouldn't be bad here. We do actually need to get some colonization tech still. That's a problem. Well, we have a hot world. Sorry, these should probably be in this order. Alright, we have access to the next level of system development. We don't really have a good resource for it yet. I would love to have it be like ionic crystals and gigalattice. We'll have some gigalattice soon. That's actually the only tier 2 luxury resource that I see anywhere, though. We have some other sources of gigalattice on this side, too. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. Do I want to gain access to the marketplace right now, or do I want to go back to researching military stuff? I think, honestly, chitinous alloys would be pretty good. This will let us deploy even more of our manpower into battles, making the battles for the planets a little shorter, and this will give us enough command points that we can run 3 flotillas in our combat fleets. That's a pretty valuable one. But we're gonna need to pick up a lot more settlement tech as well. Actually, autonomous materials is really strong. We don't know where the wormholes are right now, but I'd really like to. And graviton research lets us colonize Arctic worlds. What were we looking for here? Was it... Oh, it's an Arctic world. Okay. That'll get us vision of some more curiosities. Yeah, this is good. This is a good path of advancement. So I wonder if they'll provide like any resistance at all. They probably don't have a lot of defenses in total, and they foolishly lost some ships messing with us right before the war started. So it may just be the case that they don't have any defenses to deploy against us. Certainly don't need to watch this. Actually, I should mess with our tactics too. Our hand of tactics cards is not very good. That's at Calum. We probably should just retreat from this. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, want to buy that. These assaults are going to go very, very quickly. Second, something like Grim Recycling. Like the bonus from Grim Recycling isn't very good, but actually, Long Short Long is not a bad setup for our fleet. Barrage Fire is pretty good if you're heavy on missiles. I don't think there's any version of this where we use Turtle anymore, so maybe I want to do something like this. This gives you 15 dust for every one of your ships that was destroyed. That's pretty not great. I think I would prefer to have long, short, long, like 2 longs over 2 shorts, I think. Makes this pretty clearly better than Revive and Rebuild, and the text on both of them is bad. And then maybe we replace Power to Shields with Post-Op Analysis just for a little bit more flexibility. Because as long as we still have this short-range ship, we gotta be a little flexible. So when are you gonna make... Okay, you're gonna make contact next turn. Oh, there... Also, I need a scout over here. This scout probably gets deleted shortly afterward, but yeah, there has to be a probe, because we have to search the Curiosity. Okay. We're working on things. This turn we have a nice, easy ground blitz. They did conscript, despite burning population, basically. Alright, they're attacking me. They're mustering something. We've regained control of the constellation. We're getting levels on our heroes all over the place. Yep, plus 20% damage, no question. And I think for now we'll keep him in place. He can keep generating XP here. Alright, this feels like suicide to me. Very weird choice. Oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to click this. I want to do this thing. I just want to move a bunch of our ships over to the long-range part of the battle. I don't know why he would bother to do this. Or she, rather, I suppose. And then to try to play at close range. Are these ships different? Did she move to bullet weapons? Is that what happened here? It is indeed. Well, unfortunately, they're going to find that the bullet weapons aren't terribly effective as long as we can keep doing this thing where we match the medium ship up against them in close range and have everybody else off inside flotillas. You know, they did deal some damage there at least. So I have my command point. I can run this guy off again. And hey, you know, if we do somehow manage to lose a ship, repairing is cool, I guess. So you guys get plus dust on fertile. Obviously, we're going to keep them here because this world's awesome. Although this one's pretty good too. Yeah, we're definitely going to need sustainable farms. And then probably this planet. We might want to put a little bit of dust into some of this. Wait, 2 more brigs? Are those are coming in, right? Yeah, I think this is the back of the ship, so... We'll fight them next turn, and then we'll head to Kurha. Kurha should be a nice, valuable one. We are going to have to care about our colonization limit. We're going to hit it really quickly at this rate. Alright, over here on Virgo, we should definitely build AI labor. AI labor is going to be totally crazy here. Alright, just some basic builds and stuff. Alright, this isn't what I want. We do have, yeah, okay. Colony 2 everywhere. Let's see, we're definitely bringing in the Red Sang quickly enough that there's not really a good reason that any of our stuff should be anything less than level 2. Alright, let's run these guys off. I imagine we probably are going to see them retreat, as unfortunately for them, it's not really going to help them, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. Them going to Kurha is ideal, because we will just catch them here next turn. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I meant to go into defense mode there. I mean, it's fine. We're gonna crush them, right? It's gonna take probably 2 turns, but we're gonna lose more manpower. It's going to slow down our attack, potentially. Okay, this thing happened because one of those population ships that we discovered somewhere finally reached our home systems. Okay, over here we have the rejuvenation field, so I expect we're going to find that Vaulter capital somewhere nearby. Hey, what a big surprise! We're building ships, we're doing military conquests, and our population is Cravers with their collection bonus. Who would have thought the militarists might take hold of the Senate? Yeah, I feel kind of bad for these Lumeris. I mean, like, they should have more defenses than this. It is turn 60 almost. But also, it's just a tough situation. Being next to a very aggressive Cravers player. Especially with him getting access to free ships. Oh, hey, we have enough command points, so we can merge these all up now. It gets even worse for you. And we probably want to split our ships a little bit over these two flotillas because you do not want to lose either one of them. You lose the morale bonus for having the extra flotilla as soon as the flotilla is empty. Oh, right. Our laws. This would have made a bit of a difference. We haven't actually had big fights with them, but I probably booted like 300 or 400 Dust and Science by not having that. Well, let's fix it. We're not gonna get nearly the benefit I would like out of it. Ooh. The Argosy is incoming. There's also a Horatio scout ship. I'm gonna stay right here and see if we can catch the Argosy and damage it. It's pretty much just spite, but why would I want one of the other players to prosper here? Keep boosting. I'm gonna wait here for a second. I want to explore these things, but I don't want to be here when a new pirate thing spawns. When a new pirate fleet spawns. I don't remember if they spawn exactly when the power level goes up. There's another indicator. Oh no, they're not gonna spawn anything. They have the maximum number of pirates out. Although there's a pretty good chance that there's at least one ship just sitting here. Well, let's see if we can get some exploration done, and if not, it's not really a big deal. Alright, so merge these guys up so that we have enough manpower to satisfy the quest, and search. What have we found? 20 Hyperion. It's not an easy task. Your forces pound day and night at the Infinite Factory door, chunking it away bit by bit. Rayarian briefly attempts to stop this destructive plan, but once your siege units turn their guns on it, it understands you aren't entirely under its thrall. It sits back and quietly waits for the doors to open. Day and night, your units assault the door. Rayarian leads your forces through the Infinite Factory, bringing the lights back on in every chamber with a snap of its fingers. The factory slowly churns back online as they go deeper and deeper into it. Reservoirs of molten dust pour from massive iron bowls. Conveyor belts carry the parts for Craver ships, tanks, and bodies, all unlike your soldiers have ever seen. And deep in the factory, Rayarian finds its greatest secret, ancient terminals containing the minds of the Virtual Endless who oversaw this factory. The Virtual Endless greet Rayarian, who explains the Craver's rebirth over the last few thousand years, and the work they put in to find the Infinite Factory. The Virtuals are delighted to see the return of their ancient, if slightly imperfect, servants. But if you desire the power of the Infinite Factory, you must swear utter loyalty to your ancient masters, and break the very spine of the galaxy itself. So we could rebel. Cravers will not be slaves again. And if we do that, we will be rewarded with the Insatiable Maw. We can refuse the forced truce without any cost. That's fine, I guess. Or we can submit to the will of the Virtuals and possess 19 planets. In which case we will receive the Voice of the Queen, influence per destroyed command point. Okay, yeah, that's just free stuff. I like that, and I like submitting to the will of the Virtuals bringing back the Endless, possessing planets, this is all stuff we're good at. The virtual Endless clearly deserve your loyalty, and also all they want me to do is the stuff that I already want to do. I'm down, man. Let's do it. Capture more worlds, honor their resurrection. Sounds good to me. Where are we at on worlds right now? This is worlds, not systems, right? Yeah, possess 19 planets. Also, I super don't care about these pirates. Okay, I was hoping it would have a counter on it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So conquering these guys won't do it well, so I have to pick up some more actual planets. That's fine, shouldn't be an issue. We definitely need more industry in this system. This will be pretty good for us, actually. That will also be pretty good for us here. And then we need to grab Kurha 3 so that we start bringing in the Giga Lattice, even though it's just a little bit. Man, that's a lot of industry, but we got to do it, and we also have to pick up more planets. So, okay, this ship's coming straight for us. I guess we can chill out here and fight it. It's looking 126, 293. Actually, I can let that guy handle it. This minor faction shuttle. He can prove his devotion to the Empire by destroying those Lumeris. So let's head out. And we have some pirates incoming over here, it looks like. Let's build ourselves a Reaper. Deal with that. Actually, I should make sure that Reaper design is actually sensible. So, we do have quite a bit of antimatter. We could go to big lasers. I wonder if that makes sense. Just as a way to kind of throw off the defensive teching of our enemies. Have our biggest and most dangerous ships be energy weapon ships. A couple of these. Some better engines. Are these all solely defensive? Okay, well let's, first of all, split our defenses over projectile and energy. I guess if I do this, they're more likely to go back to projectile weapons. I would rather they stay purely energy weapons to prevent them from countering our missiles. And if they want to go back, if they want to go to the projectile stuff to counter the missiles, then our ships will be strong against them. And in this defensive slot, honestly, another siege module is okay. Or in this support slot, rather. We could go for fleet acceleration. That's not bad, actually. This is probably more siege modules than we need already. Okay, we're obviously in no danger from an actual attack. Our defense force should be more than capable of handling what's going to come in on two smalls. Yeah. Alright, everything is ticking along. We want to make sure that we mash the heck out of this button, of course, to make sure that shuttle gets to defensive position on Kurha. Take him. So you are probably a short-range ship. They are going to bullet weapons in an attempt to counter. Oh, we lost. Narrowly, but we lost. Alright, but they're coming back to do defense. They're not just going to attack. That's good, because I would gladly conscript their their guys into my military. So we'll burn this system out fast enough. We could make a couple more ships, actually. We get like 2 more slicers out here. Actually, what we should probably do is make ourselves a Reaper and boot one of the slicers out of the fleet when it catches up. I'm going to make this thing a fleet as quickly as possible. Alright. I was worried the pirates might run through and we might lose track of them in a really annoying way, so I wanted to make sure we caught them. Okay, you're almost there, it looks like. Is that... I think that Horatio ship, or that Lumeris ship is also headed to Ova?
This is the direct
Maybe?
result of your treacherous ways.
Alright, that's gonna be annoying right here. Their increased influence pressure on us. I should note, increased influence pressure increases the amount that this bar is moving, which it could matter potentially. It usually doesn't for our cases, but it's not just that it helps planets take over other planets. It moves this thing, which allows you to make demands on other players and stuff. It's just that usually doesn't matter to us very much. So this is interesting. Where did these guys come from? I think this is the front of this ship. I mean, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. They have no chance of surviving this. If I'm reading it wrong and that's the back of the ship and they're headed to Perseus, they might be able to reclaim Perseus with that force. Yeah, and here, obviously, kind of doesn't matter where we are, just blow them up. I guess don't be at the range they like to be at. But yeah, this Reaper is going to destroy those things. And get us a little bit of science and industry. What's our Empire science output right now? Okay, so actually, the amount that we're producing from battles is a really significant percentage of our per turn science output. I think you could probably just stay here. Defend us against incoming pirates. And in case we need to build anything else here, let's do this. AI labor is going to be pretty good as well. Yeah, we have a lot of really, really strong production worlds. Pretty much just shipyards. We've gotten through our faction quest super fast, too. This is the final chapter that we're working on right now. Alright, well, let's have at them before anything else joins up. We've discovered the Nashast. Oh, I forgot to care about trying to blow up the Argosy. Yeah, it's fine. It wouldn't have mattered, it would have just retreated and everything, but I do like to be annoying. Any amount that you can inconvenience your enemies, obviously, is a good thing to do. So they do have medium ships. They have hunters with energy weapons. The Brig 6 here is a bullet weapon ship. Yeah, they're trying to counter. There's a pretty good chance they just run. Nope, okay. I don't think they're really expecting me to let them start close. But it's just not going to matter. There's just not enough of you guys. And this is a big... We should talk about one of the things that's breaking down their strategy and making it totally ineffective is that they're allowing their ships to be thrown at us sort of piecemeal. It's really important, if you're trying to muster a defensive force, to keep your forces away from the enemy while you build up. If you need to be able to put together a group that is roughly the same number of command points as the enemy group to stand a chance, it's really, really vitally important that you not just run them in willy-nilly like this. So notice that even though we chose to be at long range with these two flotillas, we are seeing missiles just miss, which means that they are not being regarded as though they are long range. But we're hitting with most of the missiles. I think we're being treated as though we're at medium range here. I think that's consistent with what we saw. I still don't fully understand how range is calculated from one flotilla to another. Alright, head up. That was our attack. We can't attack anymore here, so if they don't want to fight us this turn, they don't have to, but also they can't stop the siege without doing that. And it's going to be kind of a short one. They are, like, really out of time. So we're not in any danger here. We probably also don't need to produce more ships, though, at least not right now. We should probably do the intergalactic supermarket in the home system because it has so much more room for population. We could probably move a couple of people off of here, try to get us up to, yeah, ecstatic for the extra growth. Because we really don't need the extra industry from working the better industry world there. We have things well in hand. It's probably not a good use of our dust, considering that we don't really need this Reaper to be doing anything in particular. Let's, this is a scout fleet now. We're not in any danger here on the home system, so I don't feel the need to leave it back there as a defense or anything. Alright, let's continue pushing. We might be able to finish this up this turn, or this video. It really doesn't look like the Lumeris are planning to put up much of a defense. Okay, big surprise. I'm gonna mash the heck out of this attack button. I want to get them before they can run away, before anything else can come in and join them. Alright. And yeah, I think we're gonna just keep using this tactic. The flotillas are really well set for us. And this is still only 4 command points, so they can only occupy the one middle flotilla. Yeah, you better run. They brought in a single frigate against us. Hold on, we'll deal with that in a minute. This we don't need to watch. We know how this goes. But thanks for the dust and science, and of course, the XP. Some random Calgaros have shown up on Perseus, which is nice, because Perseus was going to have trouble generating population, actually. We really need to get more food here. Which probably means picking up another food improvement to build, since neither of these planets have any native food. Oh, Kren, you're so close to having meaningful skills. Right on the border. I should probably actually swap these two, shouldn't I? Yeah, okay. Oh, except I can't do it while they're not on a friendly system. But after we take Timos, we're going to swap Rearian into control of this fleet. I should have done that quite a while ago, actually. Although Kren's the one with the plus projectile damage skill, so maybe not. Let's see. Zanes, what do you need? Well, there's not really any reason not to build the intergalactic supermarket here. Oh, no, never mind. Right. Dust per population point. It's really important that we get maximum benefit out of those things. The population of the home, our core system, isn't actually that much greater than Zane's, but it has a greater cap due to all 4 of the planets being pretty good. So we do want to wait on that. Same deal with this. Oh yeah, this is meaningful here. And actually we should specialize this. And then maybe we want to do some terraforming as well. We don't have to do it right this second, but it might be worth doing. Also, they really should be more careful about that kind of thing. They were probably trying to buff up the population of Timos, like sending people from Scorpius to Timos. You know, we don't need to wait any longer. We can drop on their very small amount of defensive manpower. Easy enough. We did destroy their xenotourism agencies, which is a shame because I can't rebuild this. But we only lost 1 point of population. It's handy for us. So we have a temperate, fertile thing here, and they did not... This system is so good for xeno-industrial infrastructure. What are they doing? Okay, I think we probably don't want to spend dust to rush that. Yeah, I'm going to take us to evolved soils here. We can probably fill this system all the way up pretty quickly, and I think it's actually quite good. Yeah, Timos is a good place. It doesn't have great resource output, but it's a good solid system. So let's head up here. Alright, 600's enough that we should probably hang out and siege a little bit, not just drop. But I like this thing where we attack people, get them fleeing from us, and then beat them to their destination and catch them there. Oh, right, this is still happening. Yeah, we got this guy. A little closer than I would like, so we better Nope, never mind. I was going to say we better get our exploration on before we get attacked again, but retreating just kills us, so we may as well fight back. Go down shooting, as the Craver way. Oh, I forgot I was going to switch our... Well, no, wait. I think I decided I was not going to switch our heroes, because this fleet is so missile-heavy, and Kren Salutis is the one that has the missile bonus, right? Or the projectile weapon bonus. Oh hey, Elma's become a proper colony. We probably will want to station a defensive vessel here, actually. That's probably pretty important. It's hot and the waters are metallic. What a crummy place to live. We can actually counteract that. I guess it's not an emergency. Probably we want to establish some food first. This is maybe worth rushing. So yeah, here on Virgo, I'm going to have us build a Reaper. And actually, a Reaper and a handful of Slicers. Come and be our defense force around Elma, just in case the Vaulters decide to get a little aggressive. So we are now past our colonization limit. We probably... Our Spoils of War got cancelled because it's incredibly expensive to maintain. Are we about to do battle? Yeah. These ships are just going to run, though. These guys aren't quite in place. So I probably want to wait until next turn to put that on, since it's so expensive. But in the meantime, we've got to... you know, we have so much industry, this is probably not even a big deal. And we've got to get our approval level up. Things will improve as we gain ownership over these new systems. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. Trying to buy themselves some more living space. Alright, let's run this one last turn. We'll finish them off next video. I don't foresee it being an issue. So let's go ahead and run this law. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Oh, and they nicely waited until I engaged my law to attack me. We don't need to watch this. We know what's going to happen here. Ground battle at Timos. Yeah, I'm fine conscripting. If they take it, we'll take it back. But our soldiers are so much better than theirs that honestly, a little bit of conscription is going to make it very difficult for them to beat us. Some good rewards. Koros is leveling up remarkably quickly. I mean, we have a lot of big stuff going on. Oh, and here comes the defense force. We should probably figure out what that is. You know what? I'll rush that. Because, of course, we now have a new tier of science finished, which means we have access to some new curiosities. And science is tremendously important no matter what victory type you're going for. You want to, if you want to out-military people, you do have to have the weapons and the ship modules to make that happen. The Lumeris are pushovers. At least they are right now, this game in this situation. But that won't necessarily be the case for everybody we go up against. In particular, I'm a little nervous about Horatio. We can see enough population that I'm worried, and he's still taking new systems. He's going to have an impressive resource base with which to compete with us. So that's got us a bunch of the planets that we needed. We're pretty far away from the next tier of military tech. You know what? I'm not going to figure this out right now. Well, I'll spend some time before the next video figuring out what we want to research. But I think we're going to take full and thorough control of Equal here in a way that nobody will be able to challenge. And once we do that, we're going to have to turn our hunger to the rest of the galaxy beyond. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for the thing I just said with the hunger and the turning it. And we'll see you then.